Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jimmy James. You're watching Catch It Live. First, we've got Moto 2 coming up for you. Riders are just getting ready to go on the warm-up lap. So we'll quickly run through the starting order. There has been a change because Vietti was P1, Aaron Canet P2, Sergio Garcia third, Tony Arbolino fourth. Tony Arbolino got a 3-place grid penalty. So he'll be starting now in 7th. So Lopez is in 5th. Not a Lopez fan. Jake Dixon in 6th, but he'll be starting from P5. Ramirez in 7th. Chantra 8th. Gonzalez 9th. Guevara 10th. He's recovered after his crash on day 1 in practice. So a good effort from the Spaniard there. Joe Roberts in 11th. He's a little bit disappointed that he's not going up to MotoGP, and Ayagura is. Ayagura's not racing today because he's broke his hand after a high side yesterday in qualifying. Darren Binder's in 12th, Albert Arenas 13th, Dennis Onchu 14th, good effort coming back from injury. Zonta van der Gerberg in 15th, Philip Salak 16th, and then the anomaly that is Fermin Aldeguer qualifies in 17th place. Kind of since he got the deal with Ducati in MotoGP, Fermin Aldeguer's form has kind of dipped. Whether it's a case of him not wanting to injure himself, I find that hard to believe because once the visor goes down, you're a racer and you race. But he's just been off the pace since it was announced that he was going to MotoGP. Go figure. Hopefully Jake Dixon can put a good performances. Qualified 6th, starting from 5th due to Arbolino's 3-place grid penalty. Hopefully he can look after his tyre a little bit earlier on. We didn't see too many tyre issues with Moto 3, which usually, excuse me, which usually you don't. But once you get up to the bigger bikes, the 765 Triumphs, you need to look after that Pirelli a little bit, and Jake Dixon is good at doing that, as is Ayagura, but as I've just said, Ayagura's not racing. He's broke his hand, and it's his right hand as well, which is never ideal. Everything should be good with the feed. You're just rolling up to the starting positions on the grid. The flagmen are there. I'll get a quick drink. Excuse me. Blimey. So we've got 23 laps. Moto 2. Austrian Grand Prix. What's going on here? Eventually the flagmen go off. That was a long hold there. The red lights are on. We are go, go, go in Austria. And a decent start from Dixon. He's going to... Don't get pushed wide. Don't get pushed... He goes slightly wide, but he'll get away with that. But did he lose drive onto this straight up to the chicane? Which is going to be... He's fast in there, is Dixon. He's overshot it. He almost ran into the back of somebody. He's lost a bit of ground there. Everybody's got through that chicane, which is turns 2A, turn 2B. He's back into 5th place, is Joe Dixon there. Oh, Jake. The problem is he's lost a bit of ground on the front four. And it's, just don't panic. You've got 23 laps, Jake. So we've got Aaron Canet, P1, Vietti, P2, Garcia, P3, Lopez, P4, Jake Dixon. There's a little bit of a gap. Then there's Jake Dixon in 5th, Marcos Ramirez 6th, Dennis Onchu in 7th. Good effort from Dennis Onchu. Tony Arbolino in 8th, Gonzalez 9th, Darren Binder, in 10th. Lopez with a bit of a lunge there on Garcia. Not unusual for Lopez. Somebody's gone down at the end of lap 1. Yellow flag sector 3 and 4. Can't see who it is. Fermin Aldeguer's moved up to 13th. Still can't tell you why there's a yellow flag out. Not necessarily a crasher. It is a crasher though. Alex Eskrig has crashed out on lap 1. Also Mario Adje has crashed out. I'm assuming that the two things are related, but we've not seen a replay yet. So Dixon, he's still in 5th. He's trying to close that gap down now to Garcia in 4th. Vietti has taken Canet, runs a little bit wide. Canet tries a switch back. Vietti holds the place, so he takes the lead back from Aaron Canet. The yellow flags are still out in sectors 3 and 4. Lopez is still loitering at the back of Canet and Vietti. Canet thought about moving under Vietti there, then thought better of it as they go into turn 9 and 10. They come onto the pit straight. There will be 21 laps to go. Fastest lap of the race goes to Lopez. Into turn 1. Squeezes Canet out there, makes the move, so he's moved up into P2. So it's now Vietti, Lopez, Canet, Garcia, Dixon in 5th. And Dixon has closed that gap now to Garcia in 4th. Up into turn 3. Still Vietti at the front. Equidistance between Vietti, Lopez, Canet. Then there's probably a 7 or 8 bike length gap to Garcia in 4th. And a couple of bike lengths back to Jake Dixon in 5th. So he has closed that gap down nicely, as the Brit. And with 21 laps to go, there's plenty of time for him to make that forward move. He looked pretty happy on the grid, did Jake Dixon. Pretty confident. Excuse me, and apologies for the coughing. Jake Dixon's kind of brought Marcos Ramirez with him, and Tony Arbolino and Dennis Onchu. But he's looking smooth, is Jake Dixon. And it looks like he's getting ready to make a move on Garcia as they come onto the pit straight. So he's in a perfect position for a slipstream. What can he do into turn 1? He moves to the right-hand side. Can't quite make that move though, but Arbolino can make the move on Marcos Ramirez. Runs a little bit wide, does Arbolino, but gets the job done. So Arbolino's next victim will be, as they go into the chicane, he's looking to get his claws into the back of Jake Dixon. Too much of a gap there though, and Dixon's got his eyes forward on Garcia. And there's quite a bit behind Dixon, there's quite a train of riders. So you've got Vietti and Lopez, both got the fastest lap there, so I'm assuming just put identical lap times in. Jake Dixon needs to make sure that he doesn't get passed by Tony Arbolino, because there's every chance that Ramirez will come through as well if he gets pushed slightly wide. And you're moving them from 5th, you're into 7th, and you've got Dennis Onchu behind you then, with Gonzalez and Darren Binder. We know what Dazzler's like. Into turn 3, he's not going to be shy at stuffing it up the inside of you. So he needs to try and make that forward move, does Dixon, if he can, and put Garcia between him and Tony Arbolino. 20 laps to go. Shortly, it's going to be 19. Still Vietti at the front from Lopez and Canet. Then there's a growing gap back to Garcia, probably approaching 1.1 second that gap now. He's got Dixon right behind him as they're going to go into the turn 2A, 2B chicane. Dixon pulls in behind there. He's not going to make a move. Good entrance. Can he get the drive up the hill and make a move into turn 3? No, it's status quo. Arbolino's looking to make a move on Dixon there. He's not close enough there. And it's going to be a case of pass or be passed any second now for Jake Dixon. And he won't want that gap between Canet and Garcia getting any higher than it is, because it's currently 1.3 seconds. I also get the feeling that Vietti at the front is using up a little bit more tyre, because he's not that much faster than Lopez and Canet. So you get the feeling with the ease that he's staying at the front, he's maybe using a little bit more rubber. Just got an onboard now from looking backwards to Dixon from Garcia as they come into turn 9. Short squirt to the turn 10 right-hander and onto the pit straight. That's going to be 18 laps to go. Canet, lovely slipstream there on Lopez. Doesn't look to make the move though, just pulls in behind him. And that move has been done now by Jake Dixon. He says to Garcia, taps his seat, follow me son, follow me, let's go and get Canet. We know that's not going to happen though. Flip-flop right, left there through 2A, 2B chicane. And now Garcia is going to be coming under pressure from Tony Arbolino on the inside. He's got it fishtailing in. He manages to stop it. Bit of a block pass, and that'll give Dixon a little bit of breathing space. Indeed it does. He pulls out 5, 6, 7 bike lengths there. So although Arbolino got that move done on Garcia, it was a block pass and it did cost them both time. So fingers crossed Dixon now can get his claws into the back of Canet and close that gap down without bringing Arbolino, Garcia, Ramirez, Onchu, Gonzalez and Darren Binder with him. That'd be some group, wouldn't it? You've even got Joe Roberts there in 11th and Songkyak Chantra in 12th. So I can't see that being the front group. That'd be a little bit too much to ask, but Dixon is pulling out that gap from Garcia now. Garcia is close to the track limits there as well. So we come down the pit straight again, 17 laps to go, up into T1. It's as you were, Vietti, Lopez, Canet, Dixon in 4th, Arbolino a little bit on his own there now because he's got a gap to Dixon in front and he's pulled a little bit of a gap to Garcia behind him. Garcia's got Ramirez all over his pipe, so he's going to have to be careful there. They go through the flip-flop chicane, 2A, 2B, up to turn 3. All line astern, nobody's making a move. It all looks very sedate, definitely tyre conservation happening. Once again, Vietti at the front, puts the fastest lap in. Definitely using tyre up is Vietti. He is not that much quicker than Lopez, Canet, Dixon. So for me, he's going to suffer later on in this race. Still a 1.5 second gap between Aaron Canet in third and Jake Dixon in fourth. But the good thing is Dixon's not being put under too much pressure by Tony Arbolino. Maybe Arbolino's thinking, pull us up to Aaron Canet and we'll try and save a little bit of rubber. No point in putting another block pass on Dixon like he did with Garcia, because he's going to have to do the donkey work then to get up on the back of Aaron Canet, which he probably can do, but how much tyre will he be using? 16 laps to go into turn one. Garcia still under pressure from Marcos Ramirez, can't get the move done though, and Denis Onchu in 8th now, got a move done on Gonzalez. He's back after injury, so good effort from the Turk. Track limits warnings for Jeremy Alcoba, not a fan, and Gonzalez in 9th. Alcoba's down in 18th. 16 laps to go and track limits warning on a Moto 2 bike. Good luck with that one. That gap at the front between Vietti and Lopez, first and second, is up to 1.2 seconds. I'll be absolutely amazed if Vietti finishes in P1 today, because he's got to be abusing that rear tyre. Jake Dixon just took a 10th out of Canet in third. It's still at 1.46 seconds. Jeremy Messia, Moto 3 world champ, he's down in 15th, just behind Philip Salach. "15 laps to go into turn one. Canet happy to sit behind Lopez. Vietti at the front leads up to almost 1.5 seconds now. Not a cat in hell's chance is Vietti going to keep this pace up for another 15 laps. No. Braking hard into turn 3. Was Vietti there? Nothing wrong with that, but his rear tyres definitely going to be taking a battering as the pace goes up even more. He's now up to a 1.54 second lead over Lopez. Canet's happy to sit in behind Lopez. Canet's been guilty in the past of taking the bait and going after whoever's in the lead. We saw it at Catalunya. Was it last year or the year before? I forget now. Well, he absolutely destroyed his tyre, had nothing left with 2 or 3 laps to go. So hopefully, well, he definitely has learned from that. You can tell now with the way he's quite happy to sit in behind Lopez. Turn right into turn 9, into turn 10, onto the pit straight. He's got a perfect slipstream there. Doesn't matter quite as much on these Moto 2 bikes, the 765 Triumph, because they've got enough power without needing a slipstream like a Moto 2 bike, a 250 single. But he's definitely not pushing Aaron Canet. Jake Dixon still got that gap to Canet, it's 1.3 seconds. He looks quite happy with that though. Tony Arbolino's not exactly on Dixon's pike there, so whether he made a little bit of a mistake or whether his front tyre was getting a little bit hot. And it's interesting there, the temperatures have definitely rose in Austria. Aaron Canet was pulling out of the slipstream there, maybe trying to get some cool air on his front tyre. As we know, the issue in MotoGP, tyre pressures start going up if you're riding too close to the bike in front of you. I'm not sure what's happened at the front there, because Vietti now, his lead is down to 0.4 of a second, so he's lost a second somewhere, and I didn't see it. Just getting a little bit squirrely on the back end under acceleration there was Aaron Canet. 14 laps to go. Now we're seeing an onboard now from Vietti. Oh, yeah. He missed going into turn 3, outbraked himself, and that 1.5 seconds he has is now zero point 0.4 of a second just under. So as he goes across the start-finish line, 13 laps to go, it's still Vietti, zero point 0.4 of a second over Lopez and Canet. Then you've got a 1.1 second lead to Dixon and Arbolino. And Garcia today doesn't look like he's got the pace. There's a 1.7 second gap to Garcia, Ramirez, Gonzalez, Binder. Onchu's lost a couple of places. Jeremy Alcoba, there we go. Exceeding track limits, long lap penalty. No sympathy for the Spaniard. Oh my word. That was, I think that was Ramirez that almost ran into the back of. Was it Manny Gonzalez? Almost ran in the back of Binder. Had to run wide there. Dixon's got that gap down to Canet in third, down to 1 second. Looks like this race is being run to lap time at the minute as opposed to position. Maybe with once you get to sort of 8 laps to go, we'll see who's got what tyre left, and then then the race will start, no doubt. Just he hit a false neutral. Did Vietti going into turn 3 when he lost the. When he lost that second. Certainly, if you're going down into first on these tribes, it's all right, but you've really got to bang it down the box from second to first. We saw people having issues with that over in Texas. But so he's got that lead back up to 0.5 of a second now. Still Lopez and Canet, P2 and 3. 1.2 seconds now to Jake Dixon. Yellow flag set to 1. Who's dropping down? Dennis Fodger, it looks like. It is Dennis Fodger. So his day is done. He won't be getting that restarted. Yeah, has a look at the bike, walks away. Go and get out your leathers, mate. Get a shower. You're done for the day. 12 laps to go. Vietti's lead up to 0.7. That gap between Arbolino in 5th and Garcia in 6th is 2.5 seconds. That's not going to be an easy one to pull back, even if he has saved a little bit of rubber, to be honest, because Dixon and Arbolino in front are not exactly hammering it. Yellow flag, sector 1. Who's down there? Oh no, it's gone in now. That must have been him cleaning up from Dennis Fodger. 11 laps to go. Vietti from Lopez and Canet. Canet 1.2 seconds back to Dixon. Arbolino's not on Dixon's pipe, but just staying sort of 3-4 bike lengths behind. Jeremy Alcoba, incorrect long lap penalty. You'll be taking that one again. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. No sympathy for that turd. Ruined Rory Skinner's chance at a Moto 2 ride. So I wish him all the luck in the world as long as it's bad. When it comes to racing, that is. Not in his personal life, I don't know him, but what I see on track from him, absolute arsehole. So at the front now, Lopez's body language just looks a little bit more urgent. Is he trying to close that gap to Vietti at the front now? He is slightly, it's down to 0.47. And it's gone up from Canet in 3rd to Dixon in 4th. Yemen Messia, long lap penalty. Exceeding track limits. Didn't used to mind Jeremy Messia, but the way he won the Moto 3 World Championship last year. Bit of a shithouse, really. Him and his teammate, Fernandez, but there you go. It still goes on the trophy that he won the title. Manuel Gonzalez there, getting it on with Ramirez and Chantra. So all this is good for Tony Arbolino in 5th and Dixon in 4th. There's no pressure going to be coming from behind. That's pretty sure. You can be pretty sure of that now. 10 laps to go. Vietti at the front, 0.49 of a second lead over Lopez and Canet. Canet just sitting station behind Lopez. That gap to Dixon's 1.5. Sergio Garcia's just got a track limits warning as well. Got a slow-mo coming in here of Vietti. I'm just trying to have a look at his tyres. His front tyre looks alright. But it's... can't really see the rear tyre because of the shadow. It just looks dark. You can't see any banding or anything on the front. So they're pretty equidistant apart. Vietti, Lopez and Canet. Just like 9 laps to go now, I'd like to see Dixon start making inroads. Probably once you get to 8 laps, you want to start using your tyre up then. 1.57 Canet to Dixon. Is 4th a good finish for Jake Dixon after his win in Silverstone? I suppose it is. But he doesn't feel that he's out of the championship yet. So, I mean, there's a lot of racing to go. Somebody's out on track limits there. Was that Dennis Onchu? We just went to an onboard. It will be Onchu. Yeah, Dennis. What we could do with for Jake Dixon, he brought that gap down to 1.4. We could do with Lopez doing one of these usual block passes on Vietti. But currently that lead at the front's 0.6 of a second. But if we can get Lopez putting a block move on Vietti, Canet's right behind Lopez. You know, they can lose a second easily there. As, oh my word, that was late from Canet as he takes Lopez into the final turn. Then he taps his seat to Lopez as they'll say, follow me. But that won't work, mate, because Lopez is just taking you back as they go into turn 1. So he obviously didn't take any notice of that. But there we go. This is what I'm talking about now. Joe Roberts has just got a track limits warning. That gap back to Dixon is down to 1.1 seconds. As soon as Lopez and Canet start, they don't even have to beat each other up. If you just start taking each other's line, and Lopez knows that Canet's there now and intent on making a move. And as he went into T1, he had the bike on its nose because he was expecting Canet to be maybe coming up the inside of him. Matteo Pacini, long lap penalty, exceeding track limits. He had a couple of crashes in practice, did the old stager. That was comical, that went onto the straight when Canet tapped his rear to Lopez, say follow me. He tapped the left-hand side of his seat, little knowing that Lopez had done the cutback on him and was taking him on the right-hand side. Canet to Dixon, 0.9 of a second. Lopez is close to the green there as they come onto the pit straight. 7 laps to go. Vietti's made that break at the front again. His lead's up to 1.1. Ooh. Aye, what was going on there? Into turn 1, Lopez ran wide there. He was out on the green. However, Canet couldn't capitalise. But Dixon can. He's closed that gap to Canet now. 0.7 of a second. You forget that gap, Dixon to Canet. It's a front group of 4. Vietti's got that 1.1 second lead at the front. Mark my words, it will not last. And if it does last, I'd be really disappointed in Lopez, Canet and Dixon, because they'll have left too much tyre on the tyre and not put it on the track, and I can't see all 3 of them making the same mistake. So any time about now, with 7 laps to go, if Vietti is going to have tyre issues, it's going to start showing and his lap time will start dropping off. Dixon will be definitely looking for a podium at least here. The only issue is, Canet loses the front there going into turn 9. Yep. Canet's definitely having tyre issues. It looked like it was on the front there. He was pushing. It actually tucked. He did well to keep it upright. However, Jake Dixon, I'm not too worried about Aaron Canet. I am more worried about Lopez, because Lopez is more likely to do a dick move and sort of win it or bin it. That's his attitude. Well, yeah, Dixon is definitely, I'll say with him, we've got 6 laps to go. I'll give it a couple of laps and I think he'll have seen Aaron Canet off. Then he'll be getting his claws into Lopez. Lopez, you know what he's like though? He can be a little bit erratic, and I've not seen that from him. So does that mean he's been saving a little bit of tyre till the end? It'd be out of character for him, because normally he takes all of his sweeties at once at the start of a race, but maybe he's learned not to do that. We'll find out, because we haven't got long to go. Vietti's lead at the front now is up to 1.5 seconds. At what point he's either got the perfect setup, Vietti, or he is going to run out of tyre. He is not that much quicker than Lopez, Canet, Dixon. So we're going to have 5 laps to go, 1.5 second lead. Then you've got Lopez, Canet, Dixon. Throw a blanket over them pretty much in Moto 2 standards. Coming into turn 1, Lopez was a little bit steady in there. Canet braking looked good. Dixon looked the most settled out of both of them. As they come into turn 2A, turn 2B, the chicane, up to turn 3, Vietti looked steady. Lopez went a little bit defensive there. Didn't need to, because Canet was 3 or 4 bike lengths behind him. But Jake Dixon now, full flat gas down to turn 4. Schlossgold, great name for a corner. Now they'll be coming to the 2 left-handers. But I can see Dixon by the time we get to turn 1, which will be in 1, 2, 3 corners, Sergio Garcia has just got a long lap penalty, exceeding track limits. He's in 6th currently. That's going to cost him in the championships for sure. He's not looked like he had the pace today, Garcia, but that's going to be a real kick in the stones. 1 lap penalty and only 4 laps to go, so it's not like he's got any time left to make them places up, really. So we're coming up to 4 laps to go. Into turn 1 goes Garcia. He takes his long lap penalty, and he's going to come out. He's lost a blimey. He's gone from, he's in 13th place now. There was a gaggle of bikes behind him, and that's cost him dearly. He's only going to make Ayagura's obviously not racing, and it's going to cost him. He's only going to lose a couple of points, Ayagura, which he'll be happy about. That gap at the front with Vietti is up to 1.8 seconds. I'm absolutely amazed. I'm amazed that he's not come back to this three that are battling for the 2 podium places, Lopez, Canet, Dixon. Arbolino's dropped off, so he's in a lonely 4th, really. Yeah, 3 seconds he's dropped off, so that's obviously his tyre done. But with 4 laps to go, I might have to eat my words, and I've maybe done Vietti a disservice. Coming into turn, so we're going across the line now, 3 laps to go. Pretty equidistant between Lopez 2nd, Canet 3rd, Dixon 4th. We've got an overhead shot on the brakes. All look pretty smooth there going into turn 1. Just hoping that Dixon can get this move done on Canet and at least get a podium position. Hopefully put Lopez under some pressure. And this gap at the front is up to 2.1 seconds. Well, I apologise to Celestino Vietti. I thought by now he would have been coming back to Lopez, Canet and Dixon. And that's not the case. If anything, he's pulling away. So he obviously did have the setup on the bike. I know he did get the pole position and what have you, but I thought that would have been set up for the 1 lap as opposed to the race distance. But he's obviously set it up for the 2. Jake looking a little bit loose on the front there. But there is cigarette paper now between Lopez, Canet and Dixon. So with 2 laps to go, Canet is right on the pike now of Lopez. What's he going to do into turn 1? Nothing. He just stays there. Coming out of the flip-flop chicane up to turn 3. God, blimey. Lots of chatter there for Lopez. He was really pushing that front end. Dixon got good drive out of turn 3 and he's putting Canet under pressure now, slipstream. He moves to the right-hand side, pulls out. Yellow flag in sector 1. Jake down the inside of Aaron Canet. He just bailed out at the last second there, did Dixon, but he's looking to make this move now on Canet. It might have to... Oh, again, Navarro's crashed out. And this, the lead at the front is 2.6 seconds for Vietti. Looks like he's got this one done. Kudos to Vietti. But it looks like it's going to be a battle for 2nd and 3rd because Vietti's pretty much done. Unless he makes a mistake. He's coming across the start-finish line now. That'll be the last lap. Coming into turn 1, Dixon moves to the inside of Aaron Canet. He's looking for a block pass, gets it done, pushes Canet out wide. They don't touch though. Jake, you didn't touch the green, did you? Oh, did he touch the green? Because if he did, he's going to have to let Aaron Canet back through. But I'm not sure that he'll know that he touched the green. It was so marginal, and he might not have even touched it. He's got his sights set now on Lopez. So now can he... I mean, as things stand, he's got 3rd position, Jake Dixon. Whether he's going to get demoted 1 place for potentially touching the green, I couldn't tell you. It was close, that's all I can say. But now he's looking to get his claws into Lopez. And let's hope he can get that move done. That'd be satisfying for sure. Vietti's got a 2.6 lead. He's done. Jimmy James got that one wrong. He didn't fall off a cliff with his tyre usage. But come on, Jake Dixon, get Lopez done. No, turn 9. He's not going to be able to do it, I don't think. And he's going to be coming under maybe some pressure from Aaron Canet. Turn 9, turn 10, on to the pit straight. It's going to be a drag race to the line. A wheelie from Vietti over the line. Then it is Lopez. It was Dixon, followed by Canet. I want to see that replay now to see if Dixon did touch the green when he'd made that move at T1 on Dixon. This is one of them where if they're going to do it quick. So at least he can put us out of our misery. Sergio Garcia finished in 14th after his long lap penalty. Masterful display by Celestino Vietti today. Rode a real good race. And yeah, I was saying he's not that much faster than Lopez, Canet, Dixon, but today he obviously was. And he had that Red Bull KTM from the IO squad. He had a good setup there, that's for sure. He's riding a lot. He's been celebrating on the side of the track. He's riding along the grass now. Always makes me nervous that. There's no grip on grass with slick tyres. But what we're waiting to find out now is, did Jake Dixon touch the green when he made the move on Aaron Canet? He did. Get him from first. No, from first. I wish. He's going to get demoted from third to fourth, which will deny him a podium finish to go along with his place on the top step last time out in Silverstone with his win. And it was mighty close as well. Gut instinct was he didn't. However, it was close. And you only see that snapshot as they are coming around the bend. You could see with his body position, he knew it was going to be close, and he was trying to shift his weight to the right-hand side of the bike to keep himself off the green. Whether he managed it or not, we will find out as soon as we get back off the adverts, which is, yeah. If you've been watching it, let me know in the chat. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, ping that notifications bell, and give us a thumbs up. It'd be very much appreciated. And we've got the big race coming up at 1 p.m. today, the Moto GP full race. So we're just watching an advert now about some of these stars, or what's she called? Taylor Swift. I keep seeing on X that she's supposed to be a man. Nothing would surprise me in this world at the minute. So we're going to be getting back to the racing now. Is Dixon going to hang on to this third place? He's still going over, riding round on the grass again. Vietti going over to the fans in the Red Bull stand. They're all celebrating there with him. Fantastic. But let us know what's happened with Jake Dixon. Has he got this P1 or not? Plenty of flags being waved there. But we still don't know. Come on, confirm it. The suspense is killing me. Dixon's put his bike in third place in Parc Ferme. No doubt we'll be getting a closer look at it. Lopez in second. Congratulates Jake Dixon. Dixon's very polite with him. I don't think there's any love lost there. Not exactly. I don't think Lopez will lose any sleep over it. But I still want to see this overtake from Jake Dixon on Aaron Canet. And I just want to make sure that he didn't touch that green. You don't want to be wheeling your bike out of Park Ferme now, do you? And getting your photo took next to the P3 position, only for the stewards to come down and say, sorry, son, you touched the green paint. You're going to have to move out of Park Ferme. In you come, Aaron Canet. You know, and fair play. If Dixon has touched the green and he's got to move his bike out, then them's the rules, and rules is rules, as they say. But you'd have thought, with all the technology they've got by now, that somebody would have been in and said, yeah, you're being demoted one place. And the fact that that hasn't happened is a pretty good sign for Jake Dixon, who rode a pretty good race. He looked pretty smooth all the way through it, didn't look like he panicked. He took what was on offer today. And I think Dixon still has a sneaky gut feeling that he's going to go for the title. We're only just over halfway through the season. And with Ayagura out with his hand broken, Garcia not picking up any points today, really. Well, we get 2 points for that finish. There's no reason why Dixon can't become a challenger. And you know what motorsport's like? You only need an injury to Garcia. We've seen it with Ayagura already. You know, and a few poor performances from Aaron Canet and, you know, Joe Roberts and all these guys can start coming back to Jake Dixon. And if he can take that momentum into the end of the season, who knows? I'm probably looking at it through rose-tinted glasses as a Jake Dixon fan and a fellow Brit. However, it's the hope that kills you, as they say. And you've got to hope that Dixon can have a good end. So looking at that now, it's Garcia, 162 points, Ayagura, 142. So although Ayagura's not raced today, he's only lost, like I said, a couple of points. We're just getting Jake Dixon interviewed now on TV. So nobody's come and said, you touched the green up to now. What's he saying? He's saying he's had a difficult weekend. He's not had his crew chief, Dixon. His crew chief's really ill. He's crediting the team. He's thanking the fans. Looks like he's put a good shift in. He's well sweating there. But show us that move. So we must have. Is this going to be? No, because that move's already been done. So we're just watching the slow mo of Jake Dixon now. But I want to see how close he was to the green. We don't want it to be where we get the podium for Aaron Cannett's sake as well. Let's be honest. You don't want the podium to be done, and then after the race, the stewards come up and say you've been demoted one place because when you took over Aaron Canet, you accidentally touched the green. They've got enough technology now where they can get it pretty instantly because they give enough track limits warnings out and long lap penalties. So this is all looking good for Dixon. The fact that they've not come down and give him that drop one for touching the green. Here we are. Is this the move? It is. It is. Oh my. He did. Ah, there we go. Right. So Jake Dixon did touch the green. He went off the edge. However, Aaron Canet did on the last corner of the last lap, which means the positions stay as they are. If Aaron Canet had not, on the very final corner, gone onto the green, Dixon would have been demoted one place. But the fact that they both, the fact that Dixon and Canet both touch the green means that Dixon stays in third, Canet in fourth. Which, when you think about it, might be a little bit unfair on Canet because Dixon got the original overtake done and touched the green. So in theory, he should give the place back to Canet. However, as they went round the final lap, on the very final right-hander, Aaron Canet touched the green, which means that he stays in fourth. But before that, should Jake Dixon have been ordered to give that place back? But I don't think there would have been enough time anyway. So either way, fair or unfair, Jake Dixon does finish third. So your winner was Celestino Vietti, Lopez in second, and Jake Dixon the Brit in third. And the unfortunate Aaron Canet finishes in fourth. Right. I am going to shoot and get ready for the Moto GP stream that's coming up. We'll be on 5 minutes before. So please feel free to join us then. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, ping that notifications bell and give us a thumbs up. Also, put it in your notebook for tomorrow evening. We'll be on air at 6:55 p.m, 7 o'clock kickoff. Wisła Kraków playing Arki Gdynia in the Polish Betclic 1 League. Come on, Wisła. We need to start, after a good win in Europe last week, we need to start taking it into the league and start making a forward move. We don't want a poor league season again. The club's too big to be in the Betclic 1. We need to get back into the Ekstrasse, which is like the equivalent of the Polish Premier League. But I'm going to stop waffling now, get this next stream set up. We'll be back on air in 50 minutes. We'll see you then. I am Jimmy James and you're watching Catch It Live First.